This man was flying a fighter jet, heading home just before Christmas. Shortly after the plane took off from the runway, all the lights at the airport suddenly went out, but John didn't notice. He just pushed the throttle forward and pulled up. After flying for an hour, several flashes of light appeared. The instrument panel started going haywire. John tapped it a few times, but nothing changed. He immediately pulled out the operations manual and followed the steps one by one. Still no response. So he called the control tower right away. No answer. Just like that, John was completely lost. At that moment, the fighter jet was flying over the ocean. Fuel was running dangerously low. While John kept trying different things, a thick fog suddenly rolled in from the sky. He immediately reduced his speed. At least that would save some fuel. But before long, John began to lose hope. Just as he was about to give up, he suddenly spotted a bomber ahead, and the bomber was rocking its wings to greet him. After learning about John's situation, that he was lost, almost out of fuel, and needed to land immediately, the bomber pilot told John to follow him. The two planes changed course. Guided by the bomber pilot, they soon arrived above an airfield. Moments later, John landed safely. The bomber pilot saw John touch down on the runway, then turned and flew away. After John climbed out of the cockpit, he saw a car parked nearby. He followed the staff inside to the mess hall. On the wall, John saw dozens of names and ages written down. Suddenly, a photograph caught his eye. The man in the photo looked exactly like the pilot who had just guided him in. He asked about it immediately. The staff explained that the pilot had once been the ace of this base. Every time he returned from a mission, he would fly out alone in his fighter to search for damaged aircraft and guide them back to base. Because fog often rolled in over the sea, some planes would lose their way. Hearing this, John said right away that this was the very pilot who had guided him here. But the staff told him that the pilot had taken off in his bomber on Christmas Eve, 1943, and crashed into the ocean shortly after. That was exactly 14 years ago tonight. John was deeply confused. Just then, he heard the sound of a bomber. He rushed outside but saw nothing. However, when he turned around, he saw vehicles approaching from ahead. The soldiers told him they had seen him vanish from radar and immediately came after him. John said he had been guided to land here, and that staff had helped him turn on the runway lights. The two soldiers were stunned because this place had been abandoned since the end of World War II. Hearing that, John turned around, only to find that the grand mess hall he had just seen was now